Hello, hello, JJ DiGeronimo here, and I am so excited to be with you today. So much has happened astrologically this past weekend. Saturn has moved into Aries, and we've also had a new moon. And I have to say, my energy's been a little all over the board. I've had high highs and low lows, and being with Rose, a dear friend of mine, is really so centering. Rose joined us last year to talk about the violet flame, and I'm so honored to invite her back to talk about something, how her work has shifted and something that has brought her more to light lines and Mary Magdalene. So Rose Magic, thank you so much for joining me.
Hi, JJ. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be back here with you. And I know we have so many exciting things to talk about. Yeah, I'll let you lead the way and then let's just welcome whatever comes through. Yeah.
Well, I think it'd be nice to just sort of define and describe channeling light lines because I feel like we hear about light lines, but we don't always know what those are. So it'd be great to just get your description of what light lines are.
Okay. So for me, light lines are streams of consciousness. They're always there. They're always around us in our field. But this is the intentional allowing of those streams of consciousness to come through you and allowing yourself to just trust the knowing and putting it down on paper. Right. So it's similar to light language. I think a lot of people are so familiar with light language. You just speak in what seems like a different type of language. It really is the language of your soul. So similarly, this is like channeling through automatic writing or spiritual writing, whatever you want to call it. And light lines, when I got this download, it's not necessarily just words. It could be lines, it could be squiggles, it could be colors. But the idea is to allow your consciousness to open, stream through, tapping into your heart, allowing the extension of your heart, which are your hands, to just put it down on paper. So,
I love that. I love that. And I'm looking forward for you to showing us how you do that soon. But
yes.
before we jump there, you talk a lot about Mary Magdalene and the magic of Mary Magdalene. And so, how do these two things, channeling light lines and the magic of Mary Magdalene, come together?
Oh, that is such a good question. So I'll respond by describing my personal experience. So last fall, as I was tapping deeper and deeper into just healing and expansion and all the spiritual practices that I love to play in, Magdalene energy was coming through really, really strong. And there's even a modality of, I'm calling it the flame of the rose, is what came through that I've incorporated in my healing work. So around that same time, I stumbled upon neuro-art, the concept of neuro-art. So I started playing with it and I realized it works. It releases, transmutes negative energy, heaviness very quickly. So one thing led to the other. And before you know it, the Magdalene magic that I was working with got channeled through my hands because I remember particularly one day I ask Mary Magdalene, like all these synchronicities, all these beautiful things coming through, when do I start channeling your words? So that's my question. And very clearly it came through. And Magdalene Energy said, I don't need you to channel my words. I need you to be my hands on earth. And that just clicked. I mean, I said, okay, you mean this? So I just followed the energy. One thing led to the other, and now we're here. So
Wowzy, wowzy. This is crazy because yesterday I was talking to a friend and she was saying that her daughter thought she was talking to her grandmother and she's like, can I have a sign? Can I have a sign? And she ended up going to breakfast with her husband and she ended up getting a mug because they had a variety of mugs that basically was the hometown of her grandma where she was born. Greenville, South Carolina. And I feel like sometimes we don't think to have that extra step to
yeah.
say, what can I do? Or can you show me? So how is it manifested for you? How have you been using your hands since you got this message to know that this is actually manifesting?
I love your question because that's exactly what my answer is. How it's manifesting for me is I've been using it and teaching others to manifest using this practice. So the idea is, again, Dr. Joe Dispenza calls this um, idiomotor, I think, or psychography. Some people call it that, right? So the idea is the same. It's like your thoughts, your emotions, words, actions, deed, right? Putting it instead of just thinking and feeling and meditating and visualizing, you're actually going an extra step by putting it down. So, similar to a vision board, some people do vision boarding with pictures. This is like you're channeling the streams of consciousness, the transmissions that are coming through you, putting it down on paper, whether it's words that are coming through, whether it's just like, oh, I desire abundance. And to me, that feels like flowers and sunshine and airplane rides. So I draw airplane and then just allowing the lines to come through, blessing it with intention, and then just leaving it alone, like really releasing that attachment to outcome. And yes, I do keep it open on my bedside table, on my side table, to say I'm manifesting this. I bless it every single day. I have a version where I keep on putting like little hearts or bubbles to just feel so grateful that it is done. It is done. So that has been so easy because my logical mind doesn't have to think every single day, is it here yet, is it here yet, what's going on, what's going on. I just release it on the paper, and then it's just there sitting and ready for you to just feel into the vibe, right? And it's beautiful, and you have art.
So what does this look like? Are you just like words are you writing? Are you writing sentences? Are you using colored pens or what are you doing on paper? How can you like so that we can visually kind of feel what you are creating?
Okay. So I started with channeling lines, and then sometimes words come through, sometimes images come through. And I always start with a little heart in the middle of the page. And then I bless it. I set my intention. Really, what is the intention for this? And sometimes it's just releasing heavy emotions. Sometimes it's like, oh, manifesting something new, something different in my life or expansion. So I happen to have one picture handy here with me. Again, this one I started with a heart. That's all I had. And I had a line going up, I had a line going down. And I even sent this to my community to say, hey, there's a drawing prompt here. Go as you please, do whatever you want with it. And then started just channeling all these lines. So the roots came through and then started channeling all of this. And before I knew it, I'm like, oh my God, this looks like a tree or whatever it looks like, right? Like rooting down deep, accessing higher intelligence. And, so this is an example that I've done a few weeks ago, have put it away since. And this morning in my meditation, this came through so clearly, so clearly. And I was asked to like tap in even deeper into the earth, ground even deeper so we can go up high even more as we all of us open our channels, right? Open our hearts, your human, your heart, your connection, as you amplify all these energies, all your gifts into the world. So that's one example. I do have one where it looks like a word cloud. It's like, what does abundance mean to you? It's like freedom, joy. So I use different colored pens, highlight them. So it whatever comes through you, just trust that. Just trust the knowing. You don't have to think about it. You'll be so surprised how it just shows up magically, and the vibration of what you're intending and manifesting, creating is on that paper, which is really helpful for us humans because now you have a visual reminder, right? So you don't have,
Mm.
especially for those who have a hard time visualizing or meditating, there's something that visually can remind you every single day. Yeah.
The picture is beautiful. And for those that listen to the podcast, you can pop over to Together We Seek YouTube channel and see Rose's picture because I feel like when you see the picture and you see the abundance in the picture and all the colors, you can feel the energy coming off the paper. And you've actually encouraged me to do this too. So when we were talking about this, you're like, just get your crayons out and get your piece of paper. And honestly, I was like, what would I draw? What would I draw? And I also started with the heart because that what gave me a place to start. I think sometimes when you're looking at a piece of paper, you're like, what do I start with? And the fact that you really centered me on putting the heart on
Yes.
my page first, it gave me a point to draw from. And so I'm happy to share that I've done a few drawings. And I feel like for those, you can see right there, I have the heart with the star in it. And even with my second drawing that looks like the sun rays, I have the heart in the middle. And I think for many of us, just starting with that heart gives you the ability to launch off of that. And then, almost like it gives you energy to realize that there's so much more inside of you that wants to come out, and just coloring picture, starting with any type of symbol. For me, the heart was perfect. It gives me a place to start, and then I really don't have to think about it. It like bursts out of me.
That is so cool and so amazing, JJ. And one thing, and again, I'm really, really happy that you're enjoying this practice. So one thing I want to add, just to amp it up a little bit, if you like music, I put in like really good tunes, and then that even helps raise your vibe. And then before you know it, you're just like really having fun doing it, right? It's something to do that brings you out of your logical mind, right? And occasionally when I'm listening to audiobooks, I take notes, and before you know it, I'm scribbling lines. But to me, I fully believe you're connecting heart mind, right? So the brain heart coherence using your hand, because I think we all notice if you write notes with your hand, you actually retain better than typing it, right? So similarly, I just start drawing and doodling while listening to an audiobook, and it just does such wonders. So yes, I'm so happy to be able to share this practice out there because it's so fun.
I love it. And I feel like I was just at a women's conscious party this weekend, and I got this amazing gift. This woman built me a notebook, and she doodled my name with all these different line patterns. And I
Yes.
feel like the modern mystics they have so much energy inside them right now that many of them are finding new ways to like allow the energy to move through them. Are you
Yeah.
seeing that?
Yes, yes. Yeah, mentioning modern mystics, it really is like part of my mission that I accepted from Mary Magdalene herself, right? And for me, these are the people who are bridging traditional spiritual practices with the demands of modern life, and really trusting that they don't have to follow dogma or all of this conditioning. We're here to birth a new earth, right? So really trusting that. And I love that you just got that drawing from the weekend, because that's similar to some of the squiggles that I do. Um, it's really like neuro-art, and some of it actually comes out like cells, like circles and lines and hearts and all of that, and before you know it, looks like the cells in your body or DNA strands. Some of mine turn into DNA strands without knowing. So yeah, so the modern mystic really are those who are just ready to open up, integrate their own truth and authenticity into their leadership, right? Into being a mom. So opening up and reclaiming that feminine power and your spiritual sovereignty without fear of what might other people think. So
I agree. I agree. And Diane, she's been an artist her whole life. She's the one that designed this cover. And she said that the alphabet is her favorite thing, and really redefining the letters of the alphabet in a very calligraphy design. I sort of see Atlantis in here. I see the Egyptian pyramids. I see kind of underwater, animals. And I feel like each of Buddy's designs carries so much energy, not only from this lifetime, but past lifetimes too.
yes, and it's for those, how a lot of women's voices have been really stamped down over the last 2000 years. And I find this bypasses that, right? It connects you directly to divine wisdom through your hands. So you don't even have to think about words of how am I going to say this because of all of whatever was happening in our past lives. So you just go directly to the source, to your truth. And before you know it, you're channeling art, like the one you just showed us. It's so beautiful. People can feel it, people can sense it. And it's brought so much magic to my life, so many surprises. One of the women I taught this, she's a healer herself. She literally said the next day it diffused anger within 14 seconds when it normally takes her longer just by writing it out. So there's a process in neuro-art or neurographica where every time you have intersecting lines, you soften those lines out. And that process actually helps relieve stress and anxiety and all the heavy emotions. So it's a magical tool.
Well, I hope you start teaching this or start having these classes online where people can almost draw with you, not for you to guide them on what to draw, but to create the space for these modern mystics to really tap into something that probably wants to bubble up.
Yes, I actually happen to be teaching this Friday. I think I forgot to mention that to you. I've been teaching this like once a month, free of charge because I'm just happy to share this to the world. And my next class is this Friday, May 30th, I believe, at 11 a.m. MST. I can send you the link, JJ.
Yeah, send it because we'll want to put it inside Together We Seek community so people can join you. I think that would be fabulous. And I really see this as a way to create the thread between all of us to heighten our energetic field together.
Yes, something about amplification of energies. And yes, and even with the lines, right, you really know that we are all connected. We are all truly one and we are all connected. And sometimes when we're living our day to day human lives, it's kind of hard to perceive that. But once you see it, like even on paper, when I draw dots and I said, okay, field of consciousness expanding outwards, like you see how vast and limitless this universe is, and at the same time how connected we all are. So that's so beautiful.
Well, tell us. I know you do so many things and you're working with Mary Magdalene to really help the modern mystic, right? The women that are coming forward into their gifts and their voices. So tell us what else you do. Tell us what else you do and how people can work with you and find you so that they can really leverage the work that you've done over the last decade to really bring this connection to Mary and others as a tool to help others on their path.
Yes, yes. So I help people weave the divine love and leadership into their everyday life. So I do this with currently working one-on-one, and occasionally I would offer the group programs. And the one-on-one allows us to go really, really, really deep. It's like a deep dive soul activation where I help them recondition, release old patterns that no longer serve. But at the end of the day, it's not about healing, it's about remembering. Right. So we're not fixing anything. We're activating the dormant parts of their soul, bringing them back online so they remember like who they truly are, and then from there we expand. So it's an energetic expansion. Working with me is like a portal. You come in through a portal to access all the divine wisdom, your connections to your guides, and all the beautiful things in life that's always here, always here. We just forgot, right? So we're just opening up more so the body also feels safe. We embody those practices. It's not just here, it's all the layers of your being. And something new that I've been doing this year that gives me so much joy is helping leaders, CEO, tracking their energetic field along with their teams and their groups or their communities, right? So that is a little bit more advanced work, which, like I said, I'm enjoying so much because really it's all about connection to the unseen magnetic, spiritual, energetic field, however you want to call it, pertaining to that particular group. right? Say, JJ, if I were helping you track your energy, track the group field, people can use this to help them launch something, or maybe it's been launched and they have a mastermind, and I kind of help the leader track, okay, what's the energy field doing this week? Where is it wobbly? Where is it needing some more love? How can we expand more? What's going on? And that work comes through me through energetic transmissions. So there's no prescribed process. It just hits me. I blurt it out, record the transmission. Sometimes I draw it out. So yeah, that's what's new. And I am still taking the one-on-one deep dive soul attunements and activations with those who are ready to expand more into their being a modern mystic. Yes.
I love that. And we did the soul attunement and it was fabulous. It was fabulous. And it definitely helped not only my personal mission and sort of my personal work, but it did move into my business too. So you're adding the leadership component to your work. It's really important because leaders carry not only their energy, but the energy above and below them, and really working on that energetic field so that they can use their energy as a tool, as a frequency tool to move the momentum and move through their deliverables. Uh, in a way that is a full body experiences rather than what we've been taught as this logical mind is so important. So, Rose, I couldn't be more honored that you're on the show, that you're sharing with us the new levels of ways that modern mystics can tap into their energy, their source energy, by partnering with Mary Magdalene and really using their light lines from within to remember. So, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, JJ, for inviting me back. It's always a pleasure to be here. And thank you for all the work that you do. You are such a big connector out there in the world, connecting all of us like minded humans together to amplify all our gifts out into the world. So thank you.
Mm.
My honor
I'm
being
so
here.
honored you're here. I'm so lucky this is my work, and I love highlighting your work because it is potent, it's impactful, and it matters. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you.
With this, we'll see you again here next time. Thank you for joining us. And if you are a modern mystic, I hope you reach out to Rose, and I hope you stay tuned for all these lovely stories and practices and possibilities that come forward through all these humans that are working together to raise the frequency. So, with that, we'll see you again next time.